Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the workshop. It is fantastic to have you here. In yesterday's video, we made ourselves a rack in my truck for my cowboy hat because I'm just back from the United States. So of course, I'm on a little bit of a cowboy hat kick, but we're going to be getting straight back into it, working on our 500,000 layer Japanese katana, and we need to make the steel for it. So that is the plan for today. Now, what are you talking about, Alec? You've already made the steel for the katana. You made those 500,000 layers of steel. Isn't that gonna suffice for the katana? Well, there is plenty enough steel in our billet of 500,000 layer Damascus that we made just a few days ago. There is a video on this channel where you can watch me make that. But 500,000 layers of steel is gonna look pretty bland. You're not gonna be able to see any of the layers. You'll see a certain degree of patterning, as you will have seen in our 1,000,000 layer Damascus steel karambit, also on this channel. But of course, we're making a katana. We want this thing to be special. And so, in order for us to plan the patternation and make something rather beautiful, we've cut off this little piece of steel. We're going to give this piece a test etch. Now you might be asking yourself, now what is this piece of Damascus steel? Well, I made this up in the video entitled Less Yak Yak ... And I know it's difficult to tell exactly what it looks like, but it's essentially looking like this. Caveat time, I think. Now either which way, what I do know for sure is that the next step is going to involve squaring off our steel here in the milling machine, and so we start milling. Now, in order to fasten up the content in today's episode a little bit, just like yesterday's episode, we're going to be doing some Q&A. So let's get to it. Lou Ace asks me, what was the hardest technique to learn while learning blacksmithing and knife making and such like that? Well, sadly, not a whole lot of what I do has been very easy to learn. It's always a difficulty learning pretty much all of it. I'd say for sure, however, that learning how to grind, especially grinding knives, that has been really difficult. So has learning how to do machining work, working at the mill on the lathe, learning how to use a TIG welder. They have been really difficult things too. All of this stuff is really difficult, and with all of it, I'm learning every single day. I'm in the workshop. There is nothing that I can say I have learned how to do and know how to do with a straight face. Frankly, I'm learning every time I'm in here. I'm learning how stupid I was the day before, and that's the whole thing. That's the whole point of it. You know, you try and get better. Plan, where we've been doing it, what's happening, where are we going? Well, we've done a four-way here. So we got our steel stacked up in a four. What this is going to do is, by taking this and arranging it in a four-way, we're going to get ourselves some explosion-y type patterns. Those explosion-y patterns, that explosion pattern is going to be drawn down into a rectangular piece of steel. That's going to be milled, it's going to be cut and angled and mosaiced, and then welded on to the 500,000 layer billet. Since we have a few seconds here, I thought I'd answer another question, and that is from Spicy110. He has asked, what is something that you want to make that you know you're not ready to make yet? And that is a katana. That is right. I want to make a katana, but I'm absolutely not ready to make a katana. And guess what I'm making today? Yes, that's right. As the title right below this video does indeed say, we're making a katana. Ha ha! exactly is the plan now? This is still warm, has been forged down. I'm going to set it in the vise there. And indeed, we're going to be doing a ferry flip or a Felicietti flip, whichever it is you want to call it. So we're going to lock this in the vise. There we go. You contributed, Jamie. Thank you. And we are going to machine across all four sides, get nice clean material, so it'll be ready for our next stack. Ow, I'm getting hit with sparks. Ow, ow, ow. So with our ferry flip or Felicietti flip, whichever it is that we want to call it, as I said, well, obviously we do, normally I've been doing a 33-degree cut. Now, Rad Knives on Instagram, make sure you check him out, he recommended that I give a 45-degree cut a try. And so, it's exactly what we are going to try. So, of course, with our ferry or Felicietti flip, we are now going from clockwise to anti-clockwise, from clockwise to anti-clockwise, bringing our pattern up to the surface. We'll drop it over, we're going to clamp it up, and we are going to TIG weld it, fusion TIG weld it together before the forge weld. But first, let's answer a question. Don't have a phone, but I'm going to get my phone and we're going to find a question. Kim Paulson has asked, what is my why? What is my motivation? That is a fantastic question, Kim. I've answered it before, and I'm thrilled to answer it again because I think it's so important. My why, my motivation, why it is that I do this and work so much is because in the future I'm very much looking forward to having a family, having kids, having a wife, and it takes a lot to provide for a family. And so that's why I work hard. And it's a real blessing to be able to do what it is that I do and enjoy it just so much. But at the end of the day, it's all about building something, building a legacy that is going to be helpful to my family, provide great things for them, and live a life that is in accordance with the example that I'd like to set for my own children in the future. Pretty fun stuff, really. Ugly Dougly, well that is now welded up, and you see it's a very small billet, and let me take my sweatshirt off. Whew, that thing is nice and warm. alexsteelshop.com, that's right, you can get your own. And the last question of the day is about my trip to America. What was I doing there? Well, a good friend of mine was getting married, and I was his best man, so it was a huge amount of fun. I nipped over there for the wedding, and that was in Kentucky, which is a great place, and I then subsequently found out that people don't really wear cowboy hats in Kentucky. But that's great because my friend's from Texas, and so we were all wearing cowboy hats the whole time, which was good fun. And the best thing was, not only was it a great wedding, massive congratulations, but he got the groomsman. Oh my goodness! The most incredible belt ever! Hand-carved leather belt with my name in it, with my initials in it.
How cool is this thing?
So congratulations, Daniel, and thank you so much for allowing me the honor of being your best man. That was a fantastic trip across the pond. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have enjoyed today's video. It has been a lot of fun having you here. We actually made 2 videos today. We made yesterday's video and this video that you just watched, so be sure to drop a like below. I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow as we get back into full day videos. So make sure that you hit subscribe if you're new. Make sure you share the video with your friends if you think they'll enjoy it, and I will see you tomorrow.